how can we engage. Your participation in this session is more than welcome, and afterwards we can conclude this workshop.
Okay, so now we can practice our English here. Finally, at the end of the day. Yeah, good. The idea of this interactive session is that what you have heard so far has generated a lot of fancy ideas in your mind, and now you would like to share them with us, or at least you would like to, if there's any strength left, you would like to have a very particular technical questions about what you have just seen in the last presentation.
This is the answer to can we engage?
Of course, yes, we can. That's the story.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can, but we are exhausted. You managed to exhaust us.
It says that we are in Zagrebu on September 15th, 2015.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. But we still can, even today.
Yeah, okay, I have a technical detail. I don't need it. Thank you. It was shown that, okay, we don't like PDF very much, but the other formats that you shown were doc or docx and Excel or something. These are proprietary formats. Is there something that, I mean, I'm quite puzzled that you even consider them, because they are open formats that are really open. So why don't you say anything about these things and conversions? I mean, I would expect you to make some tools that would do automatic conversion of these formats to some really free formats, if you want to work with, well, let's say in free domain. So can you comment on that?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The open data formats are, of course, more than welcome. What we listed on the slide are the formats that we believe and we know that are mostly used in the public sector. I mean, I do not criticize why these are used and others are not used, but I mean, it's a reality and we have to face this reality. Now, luckily, interoperability has been achieved between the open formats and some of the proprietary formats, sometimes with some loss of information, sometimes with some problems. But you're right, yes, ODT, for instance, yes, it is in it's one of the formats that we will have to do. Why not PDF?
I know.
Okay, yes, right, yeah. But what I would like to say is that if things exist just in PDF, we will have to make do with them. There are tools that convert PDF to text. They do not work perfectly well. They create lots of problems. But if this is what you have, I mean, we will have to live with this. The only thing that I wanted to reiterate and emphasize is that if there is PDF somewhere, there is a source. So let's try and find the source if it does not require more than 5 minutes of search.
So the best solution would be like to have a document in XML already.
XML, HTML is,
Digital.
and of course what I did not,
That's the answer.
yeah, right. And of course what I did not mention, but goes without saying, is that the ideal for ELRC and for any such enterprise that caters about training machine translation systems is to get the material in TMX format or in XLIF. And this is something that can be automatically generated by most, as an export format, by most of the translation memory tools of today.
You have tested results of this machine translation, I hope. And did you need post-editing or not?
I guess you refer to results of the MT at EC.
That's right.
Right. Personally, I have tested it in the languages that I can understand the result. And I can tell you that yes, they need post-editing in many cases, but I can also tell you that I was really surprised by the result in some cases where I did expect it to blatantly fail. And it was not such a big failure as I had expected. Now, the very fact that you will get really, you will get to see mistakes that may sound to you really silly, cannot be objected to. This is a reality. So post-editing for sure will be necessary, and I think in one of the talks, maybe it was Marko, that who talked about, for instance, correcting agreement errors. If your target language is a morphologically rich language, the probability that in the resulting translation you get some sort of silly agreement errors is really high. For such cases, there are also automatic post-editing tools, but they are not that mature that one would suggest that they put into production right now. But there is very useful research that is going on in this area.
Thank you. And in metadata, we have seen that we have to write down category of data. Who is responsible for it? We or you? Or in any case, are you going to put results? It means this data language repository in two domains, one domain, in how many, and who is going to judge it?
Yeah. So there are some decisions that we have already taken. The domain classification is based on Eurovoc. So we use the Eurovoc descriptors for classifying data. Now, this is, of course, a suggestion simply because we know that there are other domain classifications that are being used in different organizations. But if you're familiar with Eurovoc, and I think in the digital office they also use Eurovoc for domain classification.
Yes, they do that automatically.
Right. Now, if the particular data set comes with Eurovoc descriptors, I mean, it's an ideal situation, it's heaven. If you do not have Eurovoc descriptors, then this is something that you can either do, okay, yourself, or we may be able to do it. Now, what I mean by this, we may be able to do it. Let me repeat what Marko said off mic. He said that the digital office classifies the documents that it stores with Eurovoc descriptors, tags them with Eurovoc descriptors automatically. So there is technology that can do this sort of classification. The result of this technology is not one category, it's not one Eurovoc descriptor, it is a set of Eurovoc descriptors. And this may also reflect the fact that particular documents or document collections may pertain to different domains. One of the solutions that we have implemented for ELRC purposes is what we also call within ELRC the web crawling technology. So we have developed web crawling technology, and what does this technology do? It starts with some sort of domain profile, and it with some sort of guidance. It crawls the web and picks the appropriate pages that satisfy certain constraints. The result of our technology is an end-to-end in the end. Okay. During this process, we also classify the documents using, and we tag the documents using these Eurovoc descriptors. So this is built in this sort of pipeline. We're using this pipeline, we're deploying this pipeline now at DGT-I, ELDA, and TILDE, and of course, I mean, in my lab where we developed the technology, and we're performing crawling experiments end-to-end.
What is the name of the tool?
ILSP FC, ILSP Focus Crawler, ILSP Focus Crawler. Yeah. So, Eurovoc descriptors, either automatically or by hand. If it is by hand, we're here to help.
One question more at the end. You don't expect any expenses from anybody who is contributing you data, do you?
What we expect costs that, I mean, any costs will be borne by ELRC. Any costs that are incurred will be borne by ELRC. To give you an idea, an example, a very simple example. Suppose that you have a data set that you really want to share, but you need some sort of legal advice. And this legal advice cannot be borne by you. Okay? Within the current ELRC, but most clearly in the future, there are provisions for such cases. So, yeah, for sure, no costs for you as data providers.
Okay, if there are no more questions, I think it's time to wrap up our workshop and thank our guest for today, the eager learner of Croatia. And I thank you all for being so patient and wait until this late working hour. Thank you very much, and I hope this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah. I would also like to thank you for attending the workshop, participating in the discussions. It has been most interesting. I think that we're on a very nice track, and my feeling from whatever I've heard and all my notes here is that in Croatia, ELRC will have a really nice future, as it has been the case in almost all the other countries, all the 25, and I hope that it will be the same for the rest. I would like to thank Marko from the bottom of my heart for all the efforts. It is not so easy to organize such an event. It has certain constraints and peculiarities, So really, thank you very much, and I would like to thank Marina, who has been instrumental. How do I know? I know that you've been instrumental. Okay. Okay. Visibly, but also invisibly. So thank you very much, and we will keep in touch for sure. We are at your disposal for whatever question you may have, and we are eager to hear from you in the very, very near future. Thank you very much.
Samo jedna mala tehnička napomena. Molim vas lijepo da ove obrazce ostavite na stolu kad izađete iz prostorije, kao i privjesnice. To je hrvatska riječ za name tag. Dakle, njih recikliramo. Hvala lijepa.
Eto, hvala svima što ste došli i što ste izdržali do sada.